Wow, what are we playing again? Oh, it's
Tales...
Tales of Symphonia.
Symphonia. Okay, so do you want to explain them out? Do you want me to go through it?
Alright, long story short, we tried to do this all live, and everything completely fucked up in our face. So now this is post. I've been, since trying to give you the old hop hog, I've been decided to record the data myself here. And I've been on a recording binge.
For those of you that follow Matt on Facebook,
Yeah.
you will notice that Matt has been he's really been on a recording binge for Symphonia footage. So unfortunately, it's no longer live, and we're not doing this co-op anymore. Matt's by himself, but we can get a move on and resume the schedule, folks, because you guys have been asking what's going on with Symphonia, and I'm sorry if I haven't been exactly answering your questions. It's only because that we're too busy trying to get this back up and running again.
Yeah.
So here we are, assuming we have no more fuck-ups.
In theory.
Then we should be fine. So, Mac, give us a refresher when we last left off 3 months ago.
Oh, shit. Really 3 months?
No,
Fuck.
no, it hasn't been 3 months. It's been like 3 weeks.
Alright, whatchamacallit. 3 months ago, we learned that Lloyd's mother was murdered by the Zions, and then we decided to come back here to Dirk, who decided to beat us stupid. But he eventually lessened up, and now he's given us a few supplies to go on our quest to help Colette regenerate the world.
Yes.
And here we learn Dwarven Vow number 7, that justice and love will always win. I like Dwarven Vow number 13, fuck the police.
Why do you think he lives out here by himself?
Hey, Genus, what's up?
Lloyd, you're still here?
Still.
My man.
I wonder if there's ever like the bad rhyming scheme. Venus! Oh!
Oh yeah, about that. I've decided to join her.
Alright.
Are you stupid or something? Colette
Understatement of the year.
left a long time ago.
What?
And Colette just lied right to our faces. I kind of hate that. I think that's what it is. It's blatantly bad lying that really gets on my fucking goat.
She purposely told us like incorrect time so that she already be gone by the time we get to the village because she doesn't want the burden of taking us with her to her pilgrimage to regenerate the world's mana.
That makes sense when you say it like that. But it's not so bad on the first time. The first time I was like, okay, I can understand. She doesn't want Lloyd to tag along, put him in danger, fine.
And I'm not saying that's how I view it. I'm just,
Right, but that is
yeah.
kind of right. It's just that it really gets fucking annoying after a while. I stock up on magic lens aplenty here, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'll also buy some boots. No, I think I buy some. Nope, I buy boots.
Because these are wearing fit and the soles are busted.
The boots are the basic, boost your evasion by a little bit here. Plus,
Yeah.
Genus needs to have stuff on, otherwise, I'm gonna die out there. So, boots.
And the footage you're seeing now, folks, up until we get to the desert village relatively later on, is the footage me and Matt salvaged when we were still doing this live.
Right.
The recording's fucked up, but we were still able to save the footage. So I'm technically still with Matt at this point,
Right.
which only amounts to me hitting button combinations at some point or another.
So Colette said she was leaving at noon. So why did she what, Lloyd? Don't incense us on prepositions.
You're such a genius, head.
I think that she's hiding something. No shit. But here's the thing about Lloyd. She knows what she acts like when she's worried or hiding something, and he constantly believes it. That kind of makes you dumb, dude. What would Phaedra know? Let's check out our inventory. Our tech is still good, right where I need it to be. Johnny, your tech is just fine.
Yep.
Our strategies are still in place, and let's get on moving. And apparently I got stuck in place for a minute.
Remember when we played this game together?
Yeah, that was good times. I was really looking forward to doing this with you, bro.
What can you do?
Get angry and curse out God like I usually do.
It only does so much.
I think I get my point across to him, but then he just makes my life worse.
Well.
And here, Lloyd learns what the word livelihood means.
Money?
Dad gets requests to craft things. Artisan work does pay. Too bad the work's just not really steady.
I guess it just depends on the demand for that sort of thing.
Perhaps. Alright, let's see what we got here. Hi there. Is it true that Colette left? Yeah, she bailed on your ass, homeboy.
Oh, they all speak jive in this house.
I think it's a plot point of Tales of Legenda.
Dear Lloyd,
You get asked to translate some of the ancient text.
Yeah.
And they apparently spoke bro speak.
What?
I'm sorry for lying to you. The world regeneration journey is full of peril.
This is too dangerous, even though you're like technically the strongest one in our village.
And I am but a frail woman that trips on air.
She trips on a lot of shit, dude. Usually over nothing. It's fucking funny.
Live a happy and peaceful life in the regenerated world. Thank you so much for your friendship and kindness all these. I'm really.
I would be sappy about this, but I just feel kind of betrayed, you know.
At one end and the other, there's looking out for your friends. That, you don't want them to put them in danger for this trip.
You don't want to worry your friends, but at the same time, they're friends. They're supposed
Yeah,
to worry about it.
and the second end already, you gotta think realistically when it comes to this journey. If
Yeah.
you're going out there with nothing but the clothes on your back,
A school teacher and a mercenary who's probably going to sell you out to the highest bidder, you kind of want a few extra friends to fall back on.
yeah, you need some
Especially when
insur-
one of them could do black magic.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
cook.
you gotta have insurance for the sake of making sure everybody ends up good in the end. Because what happens if you fuck up? Not only did you die, the pilgrimage has failed, and now you got a distraught Lloyd.
Not to mention that I decided to take some time out here in the middle of the catastrophe to read about the Church of Martel. Now, we
This is
begin
what
with the
I call
lesson-
great literature.
Yeah. This here's already the literature of it, but apparently there's a great mighty tree that bore mana as its fruit. Mana being the source of the planet. Everything important in the planet, mana.
So this planet's source is a tree?
Yeah. Was a tree.
Was a tree.
Allegedly, it's history.
Allegedly.
Yeah, remember, it's mythology.
Yeah.
You know how mythology works in JRPGs.
Oh, so it is a tree, okay.
Yeah. The angel gave birth to the chosen. The chosen sought to the Tower of Heaven, and so the cycle of regeneration begins. Lloyd got stuck on a word. And this is like the first time Lloyd's apparently hearing of it. Jesus Christ. Okay, second I'm hearing about it. My poor sister. We also need to get Genus up there anyway because he's the only one that could cook. Have you seen Rain's cooking? She could fill in making a sandwich, but she only needs bread. 2 pieces of bread. Failure.
Well, I mean, what... To classify it as a sandwich, technically, there needs to be something in between the bread, right?
No, they don't trust Rain with it. Rain is that bad with cooking. She will actually 2 pieces of bread. Or a roll, for that matter. Any bread goes into the sandwich. You can even use a roll, and she'll fuck it up.
So Rain's the kind of girl that will pour a bowl of cereal and it'll erupt in flames.
No, she will pour a bowl of cereal and a meteor hits.
God damn.
Fucking designs.
That transcends bad cooking skills.
Yep, that's just terrible luck.
Yeah.
Anyway, we start off here with the Whipmaster and the Bowman. Now, we already mentioned these guys before, but the Bowman tends to go after the Mage sometimes, so try to distract the Bowman.
Yeah.
The Whipmaster won't hit you too badly. In future playthroughs, when it comes to the Whipmaster, just block their hits, then beat the shit out of them, because they have some good range with the Whip, so it's rather hard to evade them.
Do long-range fighters tend to target long-range
No.
parties? Okay.
No. As a matter of fact, the Bowman doesn't always go after the Mage either, it's just usually he does if you leave him unchecked. Now we gotta go around and say what we can in the village.
These designs aren't fucking around. Not only are they burning villages, but they got someone on the boombox singing their theme song.
Oh, hold the Zions, we gonna bust your shit. But seriously though, like you can get some light kind of Nazi kind of imagery here. Replace human with Jew, replace design with Nazi, and there you go. Roughly one and the same. Except, the Jew's gonna shoot fireballs back.
Yeah, not just they have Magneto too.
I guess. Alright, I take this time here to heal up myself, because I used Johnny to do it, because I cut out his magic. And Johnny threw a rock.
Damn right.
And Lloyd has gotten better at making sandwiches.
All right.
Bitchin'.
We're gonna put
By
the
the
meat
way-
in between the bread.
Right. Now, one thing about cooking I kind of didn't explain properly. If you have cooking, it depends upon 3 things. What they're cooking, their level of skill with the food, and what ingredients go into it. The more experience you get with cooking, the more ingredients you can put into the food. And if you could do that in your cooking, you'll get more potency from the food.
Alright, so does the meal itself change, or does the potency of the same item change?
The potency of the same item only goes up to a certain extent. You have to learn more recipes the hard way.
So a sandwich doesn't become like a pork sandwich or
No.
a cheesesteak.
Well, technically, it does become a pork sandwich in the sense of if you look at the ingredients and use your imagination.
yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty much sandwich.
Yeah, because we wonder, like, at what point does pudding become filet mignon? You know?
Not yet.
I know that's quite a 180 in terms of what changed.
No, but to learn more recipes, we need to find out the mysterious Wonder Chef. Oh shit.
Lloyd Irving, come forth.
Oh boy.
You've come to attack the village again? I've had enough of it!
What are you talking about?
Uh oh.
He speaks nonsense. Ignore
I
it.
wonder how they see out of that one eye.
Listen up, inferior beings. I am Foristus, one of the 5 Desian Grand Cardinals.
Oh, at least we know who we have to kill throughout this game.
Exactly.
Who rules over the farm where we cultivate.
By the way, who the hell dyes their hair sea green blue?
Who names their kid Foristus?
Apparently a half elf.
Lloyd, you, a human, have been found guilty for the crime of violating the non-aggression treaty.
Did I read that right?
Therefore, I bring judgment upon you and this village.
With fire.
You violated the treaty too. You tried to murder the Chosen.
Genus, Sue wrongs here kind of don't make the right.
Us? Kill the Chosen? I see now. They must be after the Chosen.
Dang.
Hey, are you saying you aren't the ones that attacked Colette?
I have no need to explain myself to the likes of you.
Well, there goes that. You know, Foristus, a drop of understanding clears out a sea of hatred here, buddy.
The fuck it. His left arm's encapsulated. He's angry.
Yeah. How good. I wonder if he ever jerked off with the wrong hand.
But I think he'd get the point immediately. You know, God forbid something happens to his right arm and he has an itch in his nose.
Yikes.
We've prepared an appropriate opponent. for
By
you
the
to
way,
fight.
his hair is green colored. Well, what kind of magic do you think he uses?
What, his hair, the color of his hair?
Yeah.
Is he, water elemental?
Close. Wind.
Wind.
What is that?
Oh, no, I usually associate wind with green.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we fight Cucumber Cthulhu.
Damn.
Ouch!
When cooking goes wrong.
Cthulhu.
Boy, I'll help too.
Shit.
Doesn't look like I know where it's at.
Anyway, this boss here is easy. You won't know it by us fucking it up. But the thing with Exile is that it's got powerful attacks, but it really only hits once or twice if it's unlucky, like
Yeah.
that. So with Gina's constantly pummeling it, and then you can easily just kind of whack it yourself. What you shouldn't be doing here is teaching Lloyd about face-to-fist combat. What you should do is kind of like do like 3 hits like that, and then you can get her in a stun lock.
Assuming you don't get the stun lock, I found an option that worked pretty good for me, was that you can do about a total of 2 hits before you need to back jump out of their way.
That's another one, yes, but it also doesn't give her a hit stun animation, which kind of sucks to be you.
It takes a little longer, but it is safe. I only got a hit twice, only because of poor timing.
Right, and like I said, one of the things you're going to notice in this playthrough here until I get a little more back into the swing of things is my timing is kind of terrible.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Johnny's out of TP, so I got to heal him up some TP.
Now, how
TP for your bunghold.
how many times have you played the HD version over the GameCube? I mean,
First time.
so this was your first time.
Yeah, that's why I was having a hard time with some of the controls at first, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm used to B button for my fucking attacks. Where the hell is it?
Yeah.
Ooh, thrust in the dick. Apparently, after a while, she stops with the hit stun.
I think it just depends on the timing.
It really is a boss of
Because
timing.
why
and
would hit
evasion.
stun disappear?
It is a matter of timing and evasion, except I was still kind of a bit rusty with it.
Yeah. I mean, not that there's much you can do anyway at this point in the game.
Right.
You know, Demon
shit,
Thrust,
no.
Sonic Fang. No, Demon Fang. Sonic Thrust. I got the names confused.
It's alright.
Demon Thrust. Oh!
Regardless, we got a 4 out of 10 grade, so we did pretty good. Ow!
Lord Foristus, just as you thought, that boy has an X-Spear.
Yeah. Ugh. X-Fizz.
Oh, God, this is gonna be a day.
Project that we've been searching for.
You're gonna hear a lot about the Angelus project, but I don't think we are told so far what it really is.
It's the first time we're hearing it.
Yeah. And I had an itch on my nose.
No! This is a memento of my mom's, who you Desians murdered!
Oh dear.
Can't you tell I'm angry?
What are you talking
He was actually kind of a
Your
bit
mother
stressed
was-
for so. Oh, and she wants a hug.
Run away.
This sounds familiar.
Lloyd.
Sounds like they put the voice actors in a
What was that
bowl of
voice?
water.
It sounded like marble.
It can't be.
They're going for authenticity, so they actually were waterboarding her when they were recording
Jesus
these lines.
Christ!
I'm just saying.
Damn, go Bantax, fuck off! amazing that she was able to grow to that size and have the shirt not completely strip it naked, God forbid.
Well, she's Cucumber Cthulhu now. I
Yeah.
don't think it matters.
Anyway, the monster there you see is what happens when an X sphere does not have a key crest and it's absolutely tampered with. You try to remove it, the X sphere goes violent within the person, and then they end up becoming.
Alright, so this is not
bad.
just the result of the X sphere being implemented into the skin without a mount.
Yeah, you also have to try to remove it without it or something like that, or do something with the X sphere. I don't remember exactly which the process is.
Yeah.
But long story short, you fuck with an X sphere without a key crest, and then that kind of shit can happen.
Is it always Cucumber Cthulhu, or does it just
Actually,
depend
it
on the
kind of is
person?
Cucumber Cthulhu.
So it's always Cucumber Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got Marble murdered, or transformed.
Well, we didn't know it was Marble. Yeah.
Look what happened.
No, we got her transformed.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna say about that?
Times like that where I kind of want to like, because one of the things I fuck up on, I admit, is that I kind of expect the speech to go on a little longer than I should.
Giants marked you as their enemy.
Oh, dear.
Well, no, remember this is this is when we were recording it live, so you might have been in the middle of saying something that you know, so you weren't pressing the confirm button when you needed to get a move on. But you know, I look out for moments like that when I'm editing these parts up, so I edit past those things.
Apparently, we're gonna kick a little boy out of the village,
There! Boy didn't do anything wrong. He just saved Marble.
and it cost too many other lives in the process, including Marble. So he did a zero-sum gain.
Any involvement with the ranch is forbidden. There are no exceptions.
So it's okay to let people die at the human ranch as long as the village is safe?
The mentality of livestock, you know.
The people at the ranch are just going to rot there anyway.
Well, fuck you.
Yes. Had you not done something so stupid,
It really says something about the state of the world that this mentality has been easily adopted.
There's human ranches to begin with.
Yeah.
You humans are all the same.
By the way, Genus isn't human, he's an elf.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured we see something like that.
That's enough, Genus. This was
Is that relevant at any point, or
Yeah, it's
we're
relevant.
just jumping the gun?
I'm jumping the gun, but it becomes relevant.
I'll leave.
Mayor, surely you don't have to be so strict on a child.
Yeah, seriously, what's the kid gonna do? Live with wolves? Get raised by them?
What are you saying? You realize how many people died here because of him?
Hey, that's my voice.
Thief! Get it back!
Not Lloyd's fault. I'm the one that took him to the ranch, so it's my fault.
You tell him, Luke.
Who?
Luke.
but it's Lloyd's desires
That's the
that
clothing Luke
Yeah,
from Farmer
you
wears.
told me that earlier in the part.
on this village to begin with. He's an outsider, raised by a dwarf.
What's your point, Aesop? How is that relevant?
Just as
I was raised by a dwarf. Yeah, what's this got to do with this?
You're not really human, Matt. You were raised by a dwarf.
Shit.
By the rights vested in me as mayor.
I now pronounce you man and wife. Mayor? Oh, I'm sorry. You're exiled.
From the bit
Oh no, I'll never get to see, what's in this alien?
I'm sorry for causing you
Well,
trouble.
regardless, it is sort of our fault that this kind of fucked up. We jumped the gun, we did something without really evaluating all the choices and consequences.
If in doing so, the world
So
is
Pfizer gives us the good idea to catch up with the Chosen.
change their minds.
Which
you want the
unfortunately
villain-
means we're gonna have to meet up with Rain, who's undoubtedly gonna beat me and Gina
Man.
stupid.
Such a mission. If you want the village to change its mind about you, save the world.
Ah, Sisyphus could do it.
Oh, is that all?
I'll follow you, Lloyd. It's my fault that you were banished. So I promise to stick by you always.
Yeah, thanks, Penis.
Hey, Genus. Why don't you use that X-Sphere?
Without a mount? Gee Lord, you bastard.
Memento.
No, he doesn't. I think he does equip
I'll
it.
explain to you on how to use the key crest later. After all, looks like it's going to be a long journey.
And I only have one set of clothes.
And 2 wooden swords.
Everything's coming up Genus today.
No, fuck Genus, everything's coming up Gil. I feel like minus 1,000 gold. Don't throw your lives away. They threw me out the village. We're also making it.
Well, Lloyd at the very least can, you know, he has Dirk.
Now
Genus
we're
has
shifting
no one.
swordsman. Adios. But that said, let's get on to the next area. As soon as I check everybody's equipment. I can't use the X skills just yet.
No, not just yet.
However, we can cook.
I noticed there are 2 timers in the menu.
Yeah, the yellow one means your playtime is of the session.
Okay.
I've been using that also to help me gouge the recording times.
Oh, that's pretty convenient.
I think about going back to C10, but then I decided, hell with it. Then I decided to go back. Do you cut this out?
I believe I do. No, up to a certain point, and then we go back. Because what Matt's doing right now is he's going back to the village.
I'm going back to Dirk.
Back to Dirk.
See what the hell happens there.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Shit.
But we do have a dialogue that happens here when you're in the middle of that journey.
Yeah.
So it's good, at least good to show that off, and then we can edit back out to the world map.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. Now
Meanwhile, we took a picture of the worm that got caught in our camera.
Oh, it's all over the camera.
They're really photo shy.
Do you have to be here to get this prompt?
Yeah.
Or does it just happen after a
I
certain
think it
time?
could happen somewhere else. I just chose to be here. Anyway, Lloyd asks a good question. Why do designs exist? I mean, we know that they're here and we know that they're bad, but why are they here? Why are they doing this?
Where are they going? And what do they hope to accomplish?
Who knows? But those are not a question for us to answer. Meanwhile, I go in the forest because there should be a caravan around here.
Somewhere.
Over the rainbow.
Yeah, you can see your encounters in the world map, folks, but there are times where enemies will make a beeline right towards you at like the speed of sound.
Right.
So it's battles are sometimes inevitable.
Right, there are 2 variants. There are the blobs, which are the weaker enemies or the lower formations, and then there's the ones on their hind legs, which are stronger with a tougher formation. This here is a free inn we can use for a bit. We're going to need to use inns for a little while because I don't have rain in the party yet, so I can't heal, which blows.
Though Tales of Symphonia does have the equivalent of like tents and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. But the inns aren't really expensive anyway.
Well, in this area, I mean, we already have 2 free places to rest. We have Dirk's house and we have the...
We have Dirk's house far beyond the frickin' meadow.
if you're willing to make the journey.
Alright. One thing I did learn about this game, even though it was really short when we were doing the multiplayer, is you gotta be a lot more mindful with your allies, too.
Well, yeah, because you guys got to have some level of competency in order to do well.
Right.
You know, you don't really think about that when you're playing by yourself because, you know, everyone's AI controlled except for the leader.
Right. By the way, between the force and here I learned Sword Rain, which is a rapid thrust attack.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something real quick, provided, you know, I don't trigger that cutscene. There are 2 types...
Sorry,
There are 2 types of
flashbang.
attacks. Lloyd has 2 types of attacks. Slashes and thrusts. Certain weapons do better damage than the other, depending on the attribute. In other words, if you do Sonic Thrust with a slash weapon, it'll be weaker than Sonic Thrust with a pierce weapon.
Because Sonic Thrust in itself is a piercing attack.
Right. Anyway, we got the book here now, which is like a beginner's novel to how to like play the game and stuff, as well as a fond farewell letter from Dirk. I don't know why we couldn't have gotten this if we went to see him, but you know.
Maybe Dirk had his headphones on, didn't notice it.
EX gems. These are going to be crucial throughout the game. Basically, when you use EX gems on your characters, they gain like additional stat boosts or something like that. And then they pretty much like help out in battle. Like for example, if you have like strong on Lloyd, it'll not only give him a boost in his strength, but if it's like S type or T type, it'll depend upon like strike or technical.
Yeah.
It'll point him toward that particular way of the tech tree. So if you level up high enough to say level 16 and Lloyd does Demon Fang 50 times, if he's S aligned, he'll learn something called Fierce Demon Fang, which is a powerful shockwave. But if he learns it on the T, it's Double Demon Fang, which is 2 long range Demon Fangs.
So depending on where you're leaning towards, S or T affects the abilities you learn after leveling up.
Yes.
So there are T abilities and there are S abilities.
Yeah. And the characters are versatile enough that you could do T or S with them too, and it won't affect you too much. Like for example, Lloyd, I've done S many times, but once I played with him as a T rank, I never went back. So Lloyd is predominantly a T type fighter. Genus is going to be the one I'm going to abuse the most because he has good techs on both T and S. But ultimately, here's the thing: the S techs on Genus are superior in terms of damage to the T techs, but the T techs have more range to them.
As in versatility?
Range, like in other words, it'll hit a wider range.
Oh, so he can attack from a distance and not have to worry about...
that he could do that with the S tags too. What I'm saying is that the T tags will have they'll cover more of the field, then he'll have more of a chance to hit.
Oh, so they're bigger attacks.
Right, and some of them are more damaging than the S's. But but through the S tree, I think is the only way Genis learns Prism Sword, which is the only way he could do light elemental damage. Meanwhile, so what I'm going to do with Genis is, first he's going to go on the T path and learn what he can there. When he learns Indignation, I'm going to switch him over to S, and let him relearn stuff from the S line of spells. I lose a few, but I'll gain a lot more. This here's the Tower of Salvation. Not Tower of Salvation. Now jump way fucking ahead.
Oh, we're at the end of the game already. What happened during those 3 weeks? You said, we beat the game, and you couldn't watch it.
Sorry, this is a House of Salvation. These are like rest stops for the people. Whoops.
Christ.
Which was I gonna say now? Alright, now when it comes to the church, they're ultimately just passing on the teachings of Martel. There's nothing really malicious about them. Now we have long range mode here. Basically, you see Noish, right?
Yep.
Lloyd can ride him as a Lloyd can ride him like a horse throughout certain areas, and he can actually Noish is actually able to bypass the bouncing or beelining encounters, so you don't have to fight them.
But you can still fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, though, is that the guidepost monuments are they're not hard to find, but some of them are really out of the way to go after. So I tend to avoid it for the most part. As noted here, if you haven't found the guidepost yet, Noish will not come. In fact, you press the square button, you sound like you got the wrong answer on a game show. And that's a dog. I'm going to have to come back for that when I have Colette.
So, Matt, what can we expect for tomorrow's part?
Tomorrow's part, we will hopefully get to the desert ruins. We will hopefully fight. We will hopefully fight.
I like how you say hopefully, just in case it fucks up again.
Yeah. Dude, you see what happens whenever it's me and you that collaborate?
I
Shit
know.
goes to hell.
We haven't had a single RPG weekend where we never had a fuck up. 4 had a fuck up. Pokemon had a fuck up. Persona, God. Ugh.
Final Fantasy 4 had the most fuck ups though.
Final Fantasy 4 is on record has the most fuck ups. Yeah, Persona only had 2.
And honestly, most of Persona's problem was like a scheduling delay.
Yeah, and that helped. That happened here too, to an extent, folks. It's not just because we had parts fuck up; it was also meeting up in the first place.
The meeting up, I could have taken a back seat behind. Like, I wouldn't mind if we had difficulties with this because of meeting up.
Well, the problem was that, and I know we're at the end of the part here, folks, but just to wrap things up here, it wasn't
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
until I gave Matt the hub pug, and we got more capturing device. Matt pretty much had to come to my place to record footage, and then I have to, we have to edit that up.
Yeah, but as I've been telling Johnny over his head, repeatedly, this game is fucking meaty.
Yeah, well, I don't care about that.